So I decided to just come on here and make the distinction um, between commitment and loyalty. And to be honest, the person that I'm having all of the issues with in life right now, this man, was actually the person that taught me the most about commitment and loyalty. He's not a teacher or a professor, nor was that his goal to teach me about commitment and loyalty. But in the way that he moves, he taught me some distinct lessons about commitment and loyalty and the distinction between the two. So, commitment to me is more of an activity. Loyalty is more of an action. So, you can be loyal to something without being committed. Okay? I'll take a restaurant. I'll take a love for a certain restaurant to just try to make an analogy that people will understand. Let's say you are loyal to Burger King, right? You're not going to let nobody talk you out of eating there. You're always going to spend your money there no matter what. But you are not committing to only eating at Burger King. So, when you go to McDonald's or if you go to KFC or if you decide to go to Pizza Hut, it doesn't diminish how you feel about Burger King. Now, let's elevate that example and take it to people. A man can be loyal to a woman without being committed, in that a man can always make sure that the woman is taken care of. A man can always make sure that he can make sure that she always has everything that she needs, and he can address it when she doesn't. You can be loyal to a person without being committed. So you can take care of a woman, care about a woman, love a woman, and not be committed to that woman at all. In the same way that you could be committed without being loyal. So let's flip the example. Let's say I'm not loyal, but I'm committed. So you're in a relationship. You in the house. You ain't cheating, but you don't want to be there. So it's like, I wake up with you every day. I talk to you every day. Commitment is what Marceau is into. Loyalty is what Tisha wants. Loyalty is what she's not going to get. Loyalty comes from a place of love. And that's why it's different from commitment. Commitment is an obligation. You don't have to love things that you're committed to. Commitment is a choice. I choose to do this. I choose to show up every day. I choose to be here. I choose not to be with nobody else. I choose. It's a choice. It's a commitment. And that's part of the reason why people take it so personally when people choose to cheat. Because you are choosing to cheat. But what the bitches that don't have these niggas' hearts don't understand is that there is a difference between me and you. He might be committed to you, but he's loyal to me. In that he loves me, he cares about me, and is always going to care about me no matter who he's committed to. Loyalty is another level. Loyalty is another version of love. Commitment is an activity. So your man can love me and be committed to you. And if you feel like that's a win for you, then knock yourself out. I have this man's loyalty. I'm always going to love Ava. I am always going to care about Ava. I am always going to want Ava. Regardless of who I got. And that brings me to my original point, which is cheating is not a deal breaker. Not for me. Because like I said, women have been socialized since the beginning of time. Cheating is a deal breaker. If he cheat on you, leave him. If he cheat on you, leave him. But if you look at cheating from that standpoint, then you're not looking at cheating from a psychological standpoint. If you look at cheating from a psychological standpoint, you realize that the person that's getting cheated on has very little to do with the cheating itself. Because even if you are cheating with this person out of a sense of unhappiness, it is still you making the choice to cheat as opposed to leave. So that's the reason why you got so many women out here that's like, how could you deal with a man cheating on you? Well, these are the women who understand the difference between loyalty and commitment. These are the women who understand that the men that they're in a relationship with are loyal to them. They might not be committed. They might, get distracted here and there. But at the end of the day, and this is what you will find out. If you are one of those distractions, if you are one of those bitches that a nigga is just committed to, you got to understand a commitment and obligation, those aren't necessarily positive things. But if you're the person that he's committed to, and something happens to the person that he's in love with, and something happens to the person that he's loyal to, you will see the difference. So that's the reason why it's like, damn, what makes you think a man could cheat on you and still love you? Well, you got to understand, a man that's cheating on you probably is having some issues loving himself. Because most cheating comes from a place of low self-esteem. Probably 98% of it. Because people who feel good about themselves walk away from bad relationships. They don't stay in them and keep cheating. It's counterproductive. It's negative. It's toxic. It is the opposite of progression. It is regression. And you don't accomplish anything with cheating. You really don't. Women, I would caution women, don't go out here in the world and call yourself trying to cheat on a nigga to get back at him. Revenge sex never works. It never helps. It never benefits anybody. But, you got women out here that just, they like to force the issue. And when you're dealing with certain types of men, you can push all you want. And what you're really going to end up doing is just hurting your own feelings. Just getting your own feelings hurt. I know that your person is in love with me. And you know that your person is in love with me. So, if all three of us know the same thing, is that really your person? You got women out here holding men hostage. You have an emotional hostage. You don't have a boyfriend. You got an emotional hostage. You don't have a husband. And, for those types of women who look at women like me and despise women like me, the reason why you despise a woman like me is because you ain't strong enough to be me. You let that man walk all over you and run all over you and step all over you and shit all over you just so you could have somebody over you. And you gotta understand, a nigga will stay with a bitch like that, a nigga will fuck a bitch like that, a nigga will take that bitch money, but he won't respect you, and he won't love you. And eventually he will leave you. Unless you have enough respect for yourself to just go ahead and save yourself the trouble. I don't care if he leave me. I mean, not leave me, but I don't care if he cheat on me. I don't care if he fuck with other bitches as long as he come home to me. Again, I think that there's a lot of fallacy in that notion. I think that there is a lot wrong with that perception. Because you shortchange yourself when you feel like that. And it makes me think of Tisha on Love and Marriage Huntsville. As long as I have a husband on the face, as long as I can come outside and tell everybody my husband, as long as I can, as long as I can have that, I'm trying to think of the word. It builds your self-esteem. That self-esteem builder. I have a husband, But at the end of the day, like, can you really celebrate a relationship that you can only celebrate in public? Can you really celebrate a relationship that is not real once you get home? You gotta play like you happy. You gotta play like you in a relationship. You gotta pretend like you got a man. That doesn't sound like fun to me. And like I said, a lot of women just don't have enough pride. They don't have enough love for themselves to say, I am not willing to tolerate a man that will just commit to me and will not love me and will not be loyal to me and will not be loyal to my feelings. You got bitches laying up with niggas right now that don't care about their feelings, don't care what they do. You got bitches laying up with a nigga right now. If you walked out the house right now at this time of night and didn't tell him where you was going, he wouldn't even give a fuck. He would just be glad that you was gone, and he would just hope that you stayed gone a long time. That's not living. If you have a partner that views you as a problem, that's not living. And I'm not saying this because I want this bitch to go ahead and have some pride about herself and go ahead and let me have my nigga back. Nah, because at the end of the day, bitch, whether you hold on to that nigga or not, he is still mine. You want to be responsible for his physical form? Go ahead and be responsible for his physical form. It's not going to change. The energy, the love, the relationship, the connection. There is nothing you can do to disrupt the connection between two soulmates once it has been made. The only thing that you can do with soulmates is put distance between them. You cannot separate them. And this is the issue that his partner is having, because she doesn't understand that her person is gone. He gone, boo. You in bed with a body. Why you don't love me? Why you don't love me? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? You could never be me. So there's nothing to talk about. If I hold on to him long enough, if I have enough kids by him, if I can get enough dirt on him, if I can blackmail him, if I could put a love spell on him, bitch, if you got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? If you even got to do all that. That should be enough right there to tell you, maybe this ain't my man. See, I had enough respect for myself to walk away. I never stopped loving him. I will never stop loving him. But for me to accept the role as number two, for me to accept the role of Scottie Pippen, I would never be Scottie Pippen in my fucking life. Scottie accepted that role. So you can't turn around and cry about it later. Oh, well, you know, everybody was always looking at Michael. You knew everybody was looking at Michael. Same thing happened when Allen Iverson came here with, what the fuck was his name? Wasn't Speedy Claxton. Speedy Claxton was somebody that we got that was really overrated that ended up getting hurt and didn't. I don't even know where Speedy is now. I know he ain't playing no more. Damn it. I'm trying to think of what the fuck his name is. He came here. He ended up going to Detroit. They wanted Allen Iverson to be the point guard. And Allen didn't want to be the point guard. He wanted to be the shooting guard. So he left and went to Detroit, and he ended up getting a ring in Detroit. You have to have enough respect for yourself to leave. And a lot of people don't have enough respect for themselves to leave, so they stay and they cry while they're there. So not only am I not going to leave and get what I deserve, but I'm also going to cry about you not giving me what I deserve while I'm here. There's no need to do that. If you are going to stay, shut the fuck up and stay. Don't stay and cry, because at the end of the day, the person that you're staying with doesn't respect you anyway. Once they realize that they can treat you like shit and you wouldn't leave, that's it. Ain't no coming back from that. You know? True love, true relationships is built on respect. And you cannot have a true love without respect. And the one thing that is missing in bad relationships, the most important thing that is missing from a relationship that you could clearly see is toxic, even if you can see it from a distance, respect is missing. You ever sit and listen to two people who don't like each other no more talk to each other? It's a painful thing to experience. It really is. I actually talked about this before. It's nothing worse than being privy to a conversation or an argument between people who don't respect each other. The things that you will hear come out their motherfucking mouth. Next time you need somebody to help you with your genital warts, don't call me. The next time I smell your pussy smelling like a motherfucking sewage garbage disposal, I'm going to let everybody know. I'm going to put you on Front Street. Well, what street you think this is? Next time your broke ass only got $2.35 to put in the gas tank, don't call me. This is what y'all doing? And you got people who do this shit in front of their parents, in front of their pastor, in front of their kids. And we'll go home together. Get in the car and drive home together after treating each other like shit all night long. And you got people who will do that for 20 years, 30 years. But when you finally wake up and you look in the mirror and you realize two things. That A, you love God, and that B, you love yourself. There's a lot of things in your life that's not going to feel the same no more. See, once I changed my relationship with God, my relationship with myself changed. And once my relationship with myself changed, then my relationship with my others changed. Okay? So, I'm not the same. So, you're definitely going to have people that are going to say, Ava, you're different. I am different. It's called elevation. It's called evolution. I love God. And I love God too much to let the devil use you to trip me up. And see, this is the thing. The devil will use things that we have a weakness for. I think that my person has a weakness for sex. And see, the devil has used his lust to get him into all types of situations that he is now having difficulty getting out of. You got to understand. As many good things as dick is used for, it's not smart. Dick ain't never been known for being smart. Dick can be cute. Dick can be strong. Dick can be gooder than a motherfucker. Dick can be long lasting. But dick ain't smart. So if you are a man that's being led by your dick, you are not making smart decisions. You might as well just get you a stuffed animal and ask the stuffed animal what they think when you need to do something. Because that's about how smart your dick is. About as smart as that duck sitting on the couch. That stuffed duck sitting on the couch. The devil knows what your triggers are. They know your weaknesses. And they come disguised as such. You like big booty bitches with good pussy? Oh man, a big booty bitch with good pussy gonna give you AIDS. They gonna lie to you. They gonna get you locked up. And eventually they'll probably get you in the ground. You like money? Everything that you've ever wanted is gonna come disguised as a dollar bill. Including the bitch you fucking. Just come over here with me. And I'll give you some money and No. The devil know what you need. And he will come disguised as such. I've been dealing with financial instability all year. All year. Not once have I wavered on my love for God and my body and my mind. My soul is not for sale. A man that claimed to love me told me, you better get your ass out there and sell that little pussy. A man that claimed to love me looked me in my face and said that. So this is the reason why you gotta love yourself. Because when you lean to others, you get let down. When you lean on anybody other than God, see, God ain't gonna let you down. God ain't gonna look at you and tell you no nonsense like that. God wouldn't tell you that your body was a temple and then tell you to defile your temple because you need money. But the devil will tell you that. And the devil will tell you it ain't that bad. Go on and sell you. Go ahead and sell some pussy. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got it for. You know what I'm saying? That nigga got money, you got some pussy, go ahead and do that even exchange. And then when you're on, you know, perfect example, Tamara Green. I was just watching a show about Tamara Green. Tamara Green was the young lady who unfortunately lost her life due to getting into an adulterous relationship with a married man. A man who was a very public persona. The mayor of Detroit. It don't get no more public than that. She got into a situation with him, was sleeping with this man while he was married. And then, after they stopped dealing with each other, threatened to expose him. You cannot lay in the bed with the devil and then decide you want to get up. You fucked that man, you sucked that man, you slept with that man, and you knew that man had a wife. Now, I'm not saying that you was right or wrong. I'm not saying that he was right or wrong. Everybody involved in adultery is wrong. But you can't turn around and then say, then I'm going to expose you. Because that's what she did, and she lost her life as a result. The point is, you got into a sexual relationship that you should not have been in the first place. Adultery is so serious, it is mentioned twice during the course of the 10 Commandments. It's only 10 Commandments and 2 of them address adultery. That's how serious that shit is. That's how serious that shit is to God. But let's go a step below adultery to fornication. The problem with this country in particular, because see, if you go to the Middle East, they don't take fornication as some lightweight type shit. No. If you take your ass to Morocco right now, you can't even touch your man. Your man. You can't even touch your man outside. Much less some nigga that you don't know. Women and men do not interact with each other in the Middle East. People who practice real Orthodox Islam, women are kept with women, men are kept with men. Women are not even allowed to work with men in Orthodox Islam. Women are supposed to keep their energy separate. There is a reason for that. Because lust is a powerful thing. Your lust can be your demise. You know what Diddy did to ruin the lives of the children that are not his biological children? Because Justin and Quincy. Now Quincy, it was always understood that he wasn't his dad. But Justin was raised to believe that Diddy was his father. Even though we all know Diddy is not his father. So you know what he did with those guys? He incited them with lust. And got them doing freak-offs and all this kind of nonsense. And now all of his children, maybe except his daughters, are probably HIV positive right now because of him. But he sabotaged them knowingly. That's how diabolical and evil he is. He always resented Justin. And it's so funny because people didn't see it. They didn't put two and two together. But I remember right around the time when when he got booked, I want to say this was like a couple years ago, somebody had leaked a call between, hold up, Christian. Yeah, because Justin is a light-skinned one. Christian is his baby. Christian is his twin, the one that looked just like him. So he on the phone talking to Christian, and Christian like, Pops, Justin need money to pay for his car. And so Diddy says, you better tell that light-skinned ass nigga to figure something the fuck out. Now granted, it might not, in and of itself, if you isolated that one statement, it might not have sounded like that big of a deal. You know, he in jail, and he trying to understand why a nigga that's not in jail is asking him about a car note. I get it. He is irritated. But there was a lot of bitterness and resentment that came out in that phone call. I heard that shit. You better tell that light-skinned ass nigga to figure it the fuck out. First of all, the fact that he light-skinned. What does that have to do with anything? So he's color struck. That lets you know that right there. And the fact that he didn't want to pay for the boy car. You paying for pussy and you don't want to pay for the boy car? Ain't it a bitch that say he's still paying her rent $10,000 a month? So there was a lot of resentment towards Justin. Because he knew Justin was not his son. He raised him as his son, but he knew he was not his son. So that's the reason why he let him indulge in all these freak-offs and all this other shit. And got him involved and unduly influenced him in a very negative way. Same thing with Quincy, the oldest one. You know? He's jealous of these boys. He was always jealous of these boys. But see, didn't nobody see it. And I blame the mothers. You know, I blame the mothers. You know, you let that nigga keep your motherfucking son. And you knew that motherfucking boy wasn't his son. You knew that shit just like he knew that shit. And his real dad, or the person that I believe is his real dad, got killed. Anthony Wolf Jones. But I said all that to say, lust is a very, very powerful thing. And then when you mix lust with greed, destruction is the only thing in its path. You cannot allow the devil to think for you. You cannot allow your dick to think for you. You cannot allow your needs and your circumstances to think for you. Circumstances are temporary. Some bad decisions are forever. So I always made it clear to my girls that youth is not an excuse. And then the people that are involved in the situation that I'm involved with right now can't even use youth as an excuse. I'm older than y'all, but y'all old enough. You get to a point where when you commit to your relationship with God, you realize that there are certain things that you cannot continue to do. I have only had sex one time since 2017. One time. How can that be? It's not as hard as you think it is if you have a relationship with God. It is difficult to imagine abstaining from certain things when you don't have a relationship with God. Oh no, I could never do that. I could never. You'd be surprised at what you could. You'd be surprised. But it requires a certain level of self-control and discipline. And unfortunately, especially in our community, self-control and discipline is not valued. It's not valued. The only people that you see that shows any self-control and discipline are the Muslim brothers. And that's the reason why they get so much respect in the hood. Because they the only ones that actually show any level of discipline. Even if a lot of them are flawed and hypocritical. Still, they show some level of discipline. Discipline is what is missing from most black men's households. The ability is there, the talent is there, the wherewithal is there, but the discipline in order to execute is missing. Not only will the devil come to you in the form of lust, not only will the devil come to you in the form of greed, the devil will come to you in the form of a woman. So you got a lot of men laying down with demons every day, trying to figure out why that spirit is so disrupted, why they can't get no peace, why they can't get no sleep, why they can't get no rest. Because you have defiled your body with a demon and you continue to do so. You keep thinking the devil ain't real if you want to. Because I'll tell you what, if you do believe that, he got you. He got you right where he wants you if you believe that. It's just pussy. I'll make sure to put that on your tombstone. Sex is so monumental in how important it is. It's important who you do it with. It's important who you don't do it with. It has so much power. There is so much power that is connected to sex that the devil uses sex magic to fuck with people's minds. How do you think Jay-Z got Beyonce to be his puppet? Through the drugs and sex magic. It ain't that deep. It's really not rocket science. It's really not. You know? Take this pill, sniff this coke, fuck this nigga. It's not a big deal. That's the first thing the devil will tell you when he incites you to do something or when he tries to persuade you to do something. The first thing he's going to tell you is that it's not a big deal. That should be a red flag for anybody, for any situation. Whenever you are entering into a new situation, if they are trying to minimize the magnitude of the situation, you need to run. It's just a one night stand. How many niggas are still suffering from the from the negative outcomes of a one night stand? all of the adverse effects of a one night stand. You open your chakras, you open your soul, you open your body, you open your mind. You're creating soul ties with someone who could potentially be a demon. You think getting into bed with Satan is just, it's, you know what I mean? Is that a small deal? Oh yeah, you can dance with the devil. It's cool. Let me tell you something about the devil. He's a very jealous partner. And once he gets you, he ain't trying to let you go. Now, I'm not saying he won't let you go. And I'm not saying that you can't get away. But what I'm saying is that when he got you, he ain't going to make it easy for you to leave. And unfortunately, my person is experiencing spiritual warfare right now. And he doesn't understand. I told you this last year. Was it last year? Earlier this year, I'm lying. Earlier this year. That I felt like you was going through a spiritual awakening. And the reason why I know that that's true is because your spirit is being attacked right now. The reason why the devil is wilding out on you right now is because you getting closer to God. And they getting nervous. Because you are such a powerful entity. You have so much powerful energy that comes right out of your pores. People can feel it when you walk in the room. And the devil put his clamps into you. He got his claws into you. And he ain't going to let you go. Not easy. You're going to have some scars when you get away. You will. You will. But you will not suffer any type of negative adverse reaction that God cannot help you recover from. So whatever it is that you got to do, whatever it is that you got to do to get them claws out of your back, you do it. And if you're left scratched up and cut open and bleeding, that's okay, because we can heal from scars. You got to understand that the devil sees the greatness in you. He wouldn't waste his time on you if he couldn't use you. You have a power of influence. I have watched you influence hundreds of people. And that type of influence does not go unnoticed by God or the devil. You're going through spiritual warfare right now. And the reason why you're so stressed is because you are turning to the devil. You are turning to the person that gave you the disease and you're asking them for the cure. So you get into a relationship with this demon and this demon stress you out. So when this demon stress you out, then you go get high. And then when you go get high, then you make bad decisions. And then you're on this merry-go-round where your life just continues to spiral and get worse and you don't understand why. Because you got to turn to God. You have to turn to God. You got to put them drugs down. You got to put that alcohol down. You got to put that bitch down. You at the door knocking and you trying to understand why God not opening the door. He's not opening the door because you're not ready. He's not ignoring you and he see you out there, but you're not ready. If he opened the door for you right now, you're going to come in and fuck everything up because you haven't let go of the ways of the world yet. One of these days, you're going to knock on that door and it's going to open and you're going to be shocked as shit. I thought you had forgot me out here. God don't forget nobody. It's up to you to remember who you are. It is up to you to carry yourself like a king. You need to remember who you are. God made you in his image. So he most certainly did not make a mistake. You are so strong, and you are so beautiful, and you are so intelligent, and you are so influential, and everything about you calls to my spirit, but I cannot engage you while you are engaging with Satan. I can't. My relationship with God is too well developed to go back. I'm not going back. So I sit here patiently and I wait, because patience is a virtue. So if your concern is she's going to run off and find somebody else, that shouldn't be your concern. I move when God tells me to move. So if God gave me another partner, then that was his plan. And if he gave me another partner, then he has another partner in mind for you. But that's not the vibe that I'm getting, that God wants us to be strong, separate. The vibe that I'm getting is that he wants us to be strong together. But he has told me, do not open the door until he is ready. Everything that you ever wanted in this life is available here for you, but you are not ready. And that's not to say you can't get ready. And that's not to say you won't get ready. But right now, today, you ain't ready. But the first step to reconciling your relationship with God is acknowledging that you need to reconcile your relationship with God. With the amount of stress and drama and chaos that I can only imagine is in your world right now, and I don't even need to be there to feel it. I feel the disruption in your spirit from all the way across the ocean. That is how connected we are to each other. I feel the chaos that's swirling around in your life. I just can't do nothing to stop it. We are one, and we have been one for a long time. And this is what I mean about the difference between a connection and loyalty and commitment. You are in a situation where your physical being is with another person. They have your shell, basically. But your heart is mine, and it is with me. And I feel it. And whenever things between us is not okay, it throws my whole essence off. That's why I don't like when we get into it. But what you are experiencing is a situation where God is not going to allow you to escape until you turn to him. You're going to experience Groundhog Day until you submit. You need to submit. A real conscious submission has not happened by you. And the reason why I say that is because you're still leaning on your coping mechanisms from the world. You know, if you're still having sex without being married, if you're still getting high on anything other than marijuana, which I personally, I do not have an issue with marijuana. I would never have an issue with marijuana. And I don't think God has an issue with marijuana, but I can't speak for him. But if you're drinking, if you're doing cocaine, if you're taking pills, if you're sleeping around, if you're not loving yourself, if you're not respecting your temple, if you're not respecting your relationship with God, then you ain't ready. Ready is going to be when you wake up and realize you don't need nothing but God. You're not even going to be ready to be with me as long as you still feel like you need me. You need to wake up one day and realize you don't even need me. You are a king. I have always seen you as a king. And it's just your actions didn't match with your purpose. And when you start matching your actions and your purpose, ain't nobody going to be able to fuck with you, sir. Ain't nobody ever going to be able to fuck with you again. But you got to love yourself the way I love you. And you got to love yourself the way God love you. And you'd be surprised at what you'll be able to manifest. We have such strong purposes in this life. And that's the reason why the devil is fighting tooth and nail to keep us apart. Because imagine what we can do together. This is the reason why I don't even waste energy arguing with your other person. Because honestly, for me, she's a non-factor. There's really nothing to talk about. And she want to be mad at me? That's totally human. That's totally human of her to want to be mad at me because I have your attention and she doesn't. I get it. I'm all kind of bitches and this and that. I'm ugly. I'm old. All whatever. That doesn't hurt my feelings. It really doesn't. You know. Somebody that is chaotic and demonic and stressed out and that doesn't understand God and that doesn't understand spirituality, they're not going to understand me. Hell, they don't even understand you. I'm patient, though. I've waited for you for years. How many women could say that? How many women would be willing to do that? I've waited for you for years. Everything in my soul tells me that you're my soulmate. And it's just a matter of our chakras have to align and our purpose has to align with God. And once everything, all those things line up, that's it. It ain't going to be nothing nobody could do. It ain't nothing nobody could do now. It's just that they're trying, you know. The devil fighting hard for you. He is. But he fought hard for me too. So I get it. I understand. I understand what spiritual warfare feels like because I've survived it. I have. Even as recently as this year, I've been dealing with spiritual warfare. But I know how to deal with it now. So when I see it coming, it doesn't scare me or bother me the way it used to. Now it's just irritating to have to continue to deal with it. But I will continuously be attacked because I am a soldier for the Lord. So I know that those attacks will continue to come. But that's okay. Because I'm built for this shit. And you're built for this shit too. And one of these days, you're going to wake up and everything is going to make sense. The other thing that you have to keep in mind, and we don't talk about this nearly enough, is your children. They need to see you win. You can't even be the best dad that you could be if you can't be the best man that you could be for yourself. I can only imagine how this terrible relationship is draining you and stressing you and not leaving you a lot left for nobody else, including your children. I mean, one of the things that made me fall in love with you is how dedicated you are to being a dad. Don't let the devil come suck all the good parenting years out of your life. Because once them years are gone, they're gone. My children are gone. I can't go back and do nothing over. But I feel pretty good about what I was able to do for them when they were minors. You don't want to have a bunch of regrets. Because you don't get a chance to do this over. You don't get a chance to tell your kids, yeah, well, you know, I was so busy arguing with your mom, I ain't had no time to take care of you. Because they don't want to hear that shit. Nah, they say with the army, be all you could be. Aye. You could do that in the army of the Lord. Be all you could be. Be everything that you were destined and born to be. Because you are a king.